It is Tuesday, and welcome. You made it to the Tile Happy Hour. If you don't know where you are, I am sorry, because I don't know either. I barely know where I am, but I know that right now is when we celebrate tile and everything in the tile industry. We have conversations about what is going on today in the tile world, and we want you to participate and be a part of that. And let me shoot it over to my good friend, John Tedesco, a brother from another mother. I'm a little bit country. He's a little bit rock and roll. John, happy Tuesday, sir. You are muted.
Oh, geez.
John, glad you're here, and start over. Happy Tuesday.
Wow.
I got you unmuted. You're good now. If you can hear me, I can hear you.
Craig, what's happening? Happy Tuesday. It's July 18th, and summer's cranking along.
Gosh. And if you can't see, this is not the lighting on my face. I am literally red because it's hot, and right before the show, I had to move a bed.
Oh, so you're doing some physical labor. I get it.
Did a little bit of physical labor. I took a shower and still sweated through my shirt after the shower, and I lost my drink. So I can't even give you a cheers. So
right.
have a drink for me, sir.
All right. You got it, Craig. Happy hour, everybody. Welcome to the Tile Happy Hours. John Tedesco with Craig Cahoon. We are here every Tuesday. We're on all sorts of social channels like LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And what about Threads? What's up with that?
I downloaded it yesterday, and I do see why Elon Musk is suing them, because it looks exactly like Twitter. They even got the blue check marks. But
really?
I didn't look at it a lot. I just kind of downloaded it just in case I needed to secure tile the world, because I've been saying that for probably 15 years and want to just keep that name if possible. So I did that. We may be streaming on Threads. I have no idea.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. So it seems to be a little more user friendly than Twitter. I'm not partial to either one, but they had a record amount of signups. Didn't they have like a gazillion people?
Yeah, I think they had 30 million on the first day, and then I think they ended out the week with like 100 million. But I don't know. I mean, I'm skeptical. I don't know if I trust that. There could have been a button to push that everybody that had Facebook, which is like, I don't know, 17 billion people, could just sign up and drop their stuff over. I'm not sure. All I know is that it's out there, and right now there's too many social media things for me to keep up with. Yeah. John, you and I just talked about you set me up as a collaborator on an account. I don't know what that means. Does that mean I have to pay the bill for the account? I'm not exactly sure, but I accepted it because I trust you.
Well, yeah, I was checking the threads on Thread, and I don't know. Does he have, if it looks like Instagram, but Instagram, or looks like Twitter, like if it looks like these things, does it really? It's not that they're that creative. It's just like a feed.
Yeah. I don't know what the I don't know. It could be back end stuff, code that I have. I mean, I'm just a tile geek. I don't understand any of that.
Did you hear that? Is it true they want to like they fight each other in a ring? Did you hear about that?
I've heard about that, and like they've both been training. I don't know if it's just marketing ploy, media, whatever, but guaranteed people will watch it and somebody's going to make a lot of money on it, and it's probably not going to be you or I.
They have enough money. They can both find like body doubles and get them all like jacked up and get them like, no holds barred cage and just
have AI do it. Each of them do an AI thing and they fight each other. But
this technology is crazy. Did you hear about this new loophole? I don't know what you call a new ability where Wi-Fi can detect images of people inside a building.
I've heard so many crazy things. I didn't hear that one.
So I saw this presentation, and this guy had a presentation. I don't know who he was. It looked important because there was a theater full of people.
Gotcha.
He had a big screen and a clicker, and he was literally showing how the Wi-Fi in your building structure, coupled with some kind of AI technology, and the way the Wi-Fi bounces off of people, he actually showed what appeared to be like somebody's living room, and like a shadow of the person. You can see there's two people in the room, all from the Wi-Fi in your house, and this technology. That's scary shit.
You would give you something more scary. I was listening to it was a SEAL SEAL team operator, and he said you can take your battery out of your phone,
right,
and I can still listen to what you're saying.
Wow,
that's crazy. And if you're not scared enough, I hope you're watching right now live. And if you are watching live, just know that the Tile Happy Hour is your show. Yes. It's not my show. It's not John's show. It's your show. So we want to hear from you today. Mom, I'm sorry about the title of today's episode. John came up with that. It was all him. But we're going to talk about backsplashes. So if you're watching live, I see there's some people piling up in the green room. We want to hear your backsplash story. And if you're not watching live, don't feel left out, because we will answer your comments and stuff afterwards, because we want to hear from you. So if it's on a replay, just drop them down in the comments. If you're here live, we will answer them on the air and talk about that.
So if you are watching live, and even if you're not live, and I don't mean that in a literal sense, we want to know where you're listening from. We find that
that's
really
right.
cool.
That's right. I think I have a little banner that says, "Hey, where are you watching from?" So let us know where you're watching from. So to date, and John, what episode is today? Do you know?
All right, I think I'm getting on track here. I think it's 19.
That's correct.
Yes.
So as of episode 19, of course we've got the Americas covered. We've had viewers from all across America. Our favorite and then the farthest away is Roberto. Good morning, Roberto, if you're listening from Australia.
Yes.
And we also had last week somebody, was it South America? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Somebody from South America. So we're worldwide.
Yeah,
worldwide. Everybody loves Tile. Everybody loves Happy Hour. And hopefully we can have some fun today doing a little bit of both. John, you always like to ask me this, but I'm going to ask you today. I don't know if you're prepared or not, because we haven't talked much this week. But what is today? National what?
Oh, today is National Mandela Day, National Sturgeon Day, National Tropical Fruit Day. Those are the three that I know of.
There's a three. I knew the National Nelson Mandela Day, which is weird because, and maybe that is, but he was not from here. So, but we have a day which I guess is cool. But my favorite was National Sour Candy Day.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So what's your favorite sour candy?
Oh, I like the Jolly Ranchers. Are those sour?
They may
Yeah.
have a one.
I think
I
like
like
the
my
green
favorite's
ones.
the Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, those are good.
Sour Patch Kids are my favorite. So
Wait, do they have like the
Nationals,
sugar on the outside, like those ones?
yeah,
where it's like,
yeah. They got a little bit of sugar on the outside, but then they hit you with the sour. And speaking of food, and this is so off topic, but I've gotten suckered into Now We Feast, the Hot Wings interview show. Have you watched that?
I didn't understand what you. I heard the words come out of your mouth, but I didn't understand what it meant.
I've just as we've been. I've been flipping through YouTube at night. You know, you're not supposed to watch TV before you go to bed, but I do anyway. And First We Feast, it is Sean, and I can't remember his last name. He interviews celebrities while eating deathly hot wings.
Oh.
And I am hooked. I watched like 3 episodes a night, but that made me think of that sour candy day.
Yeah, wasn't there that pepper that comes like in a pouch and you like open it up? And
yeah, that's the chip.
Oh,
my
right.
son had it. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, you
It's
buy
like
like
$10
one
like
chip, and it's
yeah.
a 10, and you trick your friends into eating it, and they die and pass away. I don't know.
Yeah, but you get a good video.
We get a good laugh. You get a good story out of it. Maybe a trending YouTube video. I don't know, but that has nothing to do with the tile industry. But we're here today, John. Tell me, you're very passionate about our subject today, and I'm not sure why. So give me some background that we can start this discussion about backsplashes and why you're so passionate about it.
All right. Well, so the kitchen is the heart of the home.
Correct.
And people spend a lot of money on a kitchen renovation, anywhere from, $25,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when you walk into a kitchen, it could be the most expensive kitchen, could be really super nice granite. What really stands out, what really makes a statement, is the backsplash, because the countertops, can make a statement, but they're horizontal, and there's not that much of it. Also, the cabinets, unless you're doing like a lacquer red, or something really wild, blue. Typically it's going to be a white or a gray or a wood, and that's not necessarily going to be like the statement. What really sets the mood in the kitchen, what really sets the tone of the sophistication level or lack thereof, is the backsplash. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, because I've designed literally thousands of backsplashes in my career. And there are so many things that you can do right, and there's so many things you can do wrong. And I see a photograph of a kitchen in a magazine or on some kind of program, and it drives me mad, because there's so many ways to F up your backsplash.
Yeah,
and we're gonna good friends won't let friends mess up their backsplash. So we're gonna help some people out right now. If you're watching and you haven't done your backsplash, you need to pay attention.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. And if you're watching, all those that I see that are live right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you are, we are watching the comments. I've got a little easy yes or no contest for you at the end of today's discussion. So you can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, everybody out there. So everybody that's out there listening, get ready for that part of the segment, because John's going to be able to explain why he likes it or doesn't like it. You won't be able to, and we'll see if you agree with him or disagree with him. But John, here's my thing about the backsplash.
What's that?
The backsplash, in my 20-some years, is the place where the DIY person starts. Do you agree?
Okay, good point. Yeah.
Because you think, and you're right, the kitchen is
the heart of the home.
But when you look at the backsplash, there's not a lot of square footage. There's a pretty defined area of what you're going to install in a traditional home. It's above the countertop, below the cabinets, and pretty much that. And to me, I think people think, hey, that's low hanging fruit. I'm going to go buy me some tile, and I'm going to tile my backsplash.
Well, also, yes. And also, despite there being a sink there's not really a major like flood like potential. Like if you mess up
Right.
your shower, you know,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you
exactly.
do.
You could ruin your whole house. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's very low risk. Yeah, there's not much to mess up
Yeah.
other than what you've purchased, and you may have to reinstall it. So
Right.
so where do you want to start? I mean, and you sent me a bunch of photos. I have a bunch of photos. I like to you take us away. Where
Yeah.
should we
So,
go from here?
all right. Well, so on the backsplashes, there, people think of what type of what size tile you can use, right? 3x6 subway tiles, 4x4 tiles, and bigger. And I'm all in on all the sizes: small mosaics, subway tile, even big tile. You know, with very little cuts in there. That's all cool, but it's how you embellish it, how you end it, where you put the tile, where you don't put the
Okay.
tile. All these little innuendos are really super important, and I feel like I've been called the backsplash whisperer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're having a problem with your backsplash before you do it, I haven't set my fee yet, but I could take a flight out to your house and just, you know, absorb what's happening and let you not make all these mistakes. And it's so important. Throw a picture up of anything, and I
Okay.
really want to comment on it.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more statistic.
Yeah.
The backsplashes in America.
Right.
What I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. What do you think they are?
I have no idea what the question is.
What are the 6 most popular backsplash material choices?
Oh, materials. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, ceramic tile,
Yep.
some sort of natural stone,
Uh-huh.
mirror,
I'll give you that as glass.
glass. Okay. Paint, and
Nope.
the slab of the countertop, if that wasn't
Yep.
natural stone.
Well, the last one, there was an other. So what I thought was really not critical, but interesting, is 5 of the 6 are all considered in the ceramic tile world. Ceramic tile, natural stone, glass tile, metal tile, porcelain tile. And then what's crazy is that's 90% of it. And the other ones, which would be
Wallpaper.
you know, we got some from online here. Quartz, you know, a full backsplash, a full back quartz. And I know there's, you know, back in the day, it used to be wallpaper and paint, but they only account for 10%. And all of the stuff that you and I deal with day in and day out are 90% of the backsplash. I don't know if we have that sort of percentage anywhere else in the home.
No. Well, I mean, a bathroom shower or bathroom
but
wall.
You look how popular the preform stuff are. They've got to be 20 to 30% of the market.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It depends on the maybe out in hillbilly land, but not not in
Hey. We don't need our bathrooms are outside. All right, you said
got
pull
running
up some
water.
stuff. Yeah, we got. So the way I have this organized, I've got these big letters here. It says backsplash.
Wow.
That way I can find it when I
That's
but I have
dramatic.
your slides up first. So you want to
right.
start there? Or you want to start somewhere else?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. So
All right.
This is one of the 3 pictures that you sent, and
All
so
right.
you have issues.
I have issues with 2 of those. So starting on the left, big pet peeve of mine: countertop in granite that looks like it could be something else with a 4-inch granite backsplash.
Gosh, I hate that.
And then adding mosaic tile behind it. That is horrid. Now, what probably happened there is that people bought a new home.
Yep.
And the kitchen came with a countertop and a backsplash.
Yep.
And then they said, honey, let's get some tile from the box store. And
low hanging fruit, like I said before.
And then they get this horrid looking tile and and then add it on top of that backsplash. That makes me raving mad. That is just
But
bad.
it looks like they at least coordinated the colors. Just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
that is
that's a whole nother topic, how busy
yeah.
that is.
Yeah, that is one of my pet peeves also, and I know that you're exactly right. That's exactly what happened. You know, they bought a home. It came with the 4-inch backsplash from probably granite, I would assume.
Yeah.
And then instead of just removing that, which does have some problems that we can talk about earlier a little bit later, they just filled it in.
Yeah. Well,
We got laughing and giggling out there. So that's
yes. Well, so the thing is this, if you're gonna hire a tile guy to do that, you got to pay him to take the backsplash off.
yep.
I mean, only maybe you could chip the counter, but it's so unlikely. I've never had
Yeah.
anybody that you could do it. You could
Yeah.
do it. So that's
And let me give some confidence to those that maybe try wanting to do it on their own. You can do it too. That is not a difficult thing. The
how
this
would you remove that backsplash if you? How would you do it?
okay. The key is having a flat blade that you can get behind. Cut the caulk out of the top of it,
Right.
because
Obviously,
it should
there'd
be
be no
caulked.
tile on top of it, right? So
Yeah, there's
sheetrock
no
on
tile
top.
on top of it. It should be caulked between the granite and your sheetrock.
Right.
Cut that out, and then it also should be caulked between the countertop, the countertop and the splash. Cut that out. Get you a flat knife to go behind it. It's normally just stuck with silicone, and silicone's gummy and nasty. But if you get
Right.
a skinny flat knife, you can pull it off there, and once you get it started, it's going to come off. If
Yeah.
you mess up the wall, it's okay. Just cut that out and put a new piece back. Now that goes into a little bit other level, but don't try, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. Don't try to just go over that with your tile. So you can do it. It's not that hard.
Yeah. And how do you do that without chipping the countertop? Like,
You just put some protection down on the countertop, and I would
Right.
mainly use I would pry it away on the wall, not necessarily on the countertop.
on the
So,
counter, right? And
yeah.
worst case scenario, maybe get a drill with some carbide, a diamond bit, and kind of drill into the backsplash to kind of break it up, maybe.
You can, but
you need it,
I
not
don't think that's
necessary.
necessary.
So okay, the picture below that, it's not a major fail. What is good about that is that the feature box is so behind the stove. A lot of people want to put a decorative feature box.
Yeah.
It used to be the standard. You must do a beautiful feature box. It's changed, as someone commented before. Quartz. People are putting slabs back there. People are putting tile
Stainless
without
steel.
feature boxes. Yeah, but what I don't like about that is there's a border, and I'm not a fan of the border intersecting with the frame. It's like a picture
Okay.
frame on your wall, and then you have a Listello or a border touching it, and I just think it looks weird. I mean, I don't think that's horrible. I would not do that. I would literally just not put a border then, and just have the feature box. Because the worst version of it, which we don't have a picture of, is, let's say that border is kind of at the first row, like 4 inches high, and then it ties into the bottom of the feature box.
Yeah.
It looks nasty. So that's like a partial fail. I wouldn't do that, but it's not as bad as some of the others. Now on the right, this was a backsplash that I designed. This was some time ago, when very traditional home on Long Island. This is easy a $15,000 in tile. It's all handmade tile, and there's a panel with a metal, then mosaic, and then an inner border, then an outer border. And you see now here, I had the luxury of a lot of room when I designed this, so my border does not interfere or does not intersect with the feature box. It's below it.
Yeah.
Granted, I have a beautiful mansion in Long Island to have that space, and I was able to do that. But also, what you don't see is the frame of that feature box. You don't see it touching the bottom. You don't see it touching the top. You don't see it all the way to the right, all the way to the left. So the size of the feature box needs to be proportionate to the space. And there's plenty of examples where people putting their feature box way too big. I think this is proportioned well. If you notice, there's a curve on top. So I needed to make sure that the frame, was low enough where it didn't get wonky. where there's not a lot of space between the corners and the
Yeah.
top of that curve. So I actually went to House because I know this was on House and
Yeah.
like hundreds of 5-star links, and this was done like a long time ago, probably 10 years ago. And
Now, John, tiling a kitchen, while not very dangerous, you're not going to ruin anything. We got a question here. What type of tile is the easiest to clean and maintain? What's when you're selling it to a client and look at that beautiful picture and I'm boiling some or no, I mean, we're down here frying chicken right here. I mean, what is your suggestion? How do you help that out?
Well, if you have something that's not porous, like glass or ceramic or porcelain, then there's zero concern.
Right.
If you want to do something natural, like the picture on the bottom left, that's a tumbled marble, you just need to buy really good sealer, like a bulletproof or something that's, the most expensive sealer, and that's fine. I know you're cooking, but people, if you have a sealed backsplash, sealed tumbled marble, and you're sealing the grout, of course, at the same time, if you're splashing, it doesn't like soak in, right away. It's just you don't want something to sit on there. So you need to. So you really need to just seal anything that's porous, or use something that's not porous. Now on the right, everything there is non-porous except that little mosaic that was a stone. Everything else is a handmade tile and not porous at all. But you seal the grout too. That's a good question.
I think that's a great question, and that's one we get a lot. And the key is to answer the question a little more directly. Porcelain tile and glass tile are non-porous, so they're not going to accept a stain. Now, if you try to stain it, yes, but also then you talk about your grout. I like the high performance cement grouts. I like the Step Up. I love Spectralock 1. It is an epoxy type looking grout. It performs like epoxy, but it's a little easier to use. But the key with anything, clean. And I can't. I mean, it doesn't happen in my house. I come downstairs sometimes and there's stuff everywhere. But if you clean up after yourself, especially if it's sealed correctly, like you said, with a bulletproof sealer, and even the cleaner that that complements it, called Revitalize, every time you clean it, it kind of rejuvenates the sealer.
Yeah, has like a refresher in there, right?
Thanks for that question. Good one. John, we'll just move on to your next slide, which is some more pet peeves from John.
Wow. Okay, so top left, nice backsplash. I just feel that it's too big for the space. Now you can't see too much, the space.
Okay, yeah. It kind of looks like glass blocks, but that's tile.
Yeah, that's a handmade 4-inch ceramic tile, and then the frame is kind of like a stoneware tile. But it's in the bottom and below it is the same thing. Nice feature box.
Yeah.
The distance between the bottom of the feature box and the stove is fine. Now we don't see the top of the picture, so it should be equal on top. So let's assume they did a good job on top.
Okay.
They did not do a good job on left and right. That's way too wide. It should never be wider than the stovetop itself, in my opinion. So,
okay.
The general rule of thumb is, the general rule is as wide as the stove. The outside of the frame should be as wide as the stove. There are exceptions. If you look in that picture on the right, you'll see it's similar. It's a similar size, and there's space between. So the picture on the right is an example of a properly placed, properly sized, scaled feature box, and but that picture was included as something to do, and it's also a fail. And I'll tell you what the fail is in a second.
The fail, I tell you what I'm sweating over is the Alice in Wonderland tea kettle. Come on.
Well, you're not wrong in why I put that picture there. First place, that's not a black and white picture, right? That's a color picture.
It is a color picture, yeah.
All right. So the reason I put that there is color choice. That countertop is pretty busy, and that backsplash is pretty busy, and that feature box is busy, and you mentioned that freaking teapot is, So
I like the teapot.
Can you imagine that kitchen, with a really nice handmade like white or backsplash against that countertop, it would look crisp and clean.
It looked nice.
And here it's fighting.
Yeah. Here's another question from the audience. If you're planning on doing both the countertop and the backsplash, but can't do them at the same time, great question. And from a contractor's perspective, I've always wanted to stack my backsplash on my countertop. Yeah. So I would do the countertops first. And like we discussed a minute ago, go ahead and buy the 4-inch splash to just get you by until you can get ready to do the ceramic backsplash.
Right, because you can easily take off the backsplash, and if you're gonna do it first, and then you just put a dab of silicone every 4 inches.
Just tell your guys, hey, listen, I'm gonna just
kill it.
We don't need to use 2 tubes for this 10-foot backsplash. And the problem with doing it the opposite way is it's tricky to get that joint between the backsplash and the countertop if the countertop's not there, because if you're off just a little bit, you're gonna see it. So Alexandria, great question. She probably comes from a pretty successful tile family, I'm guessing.
That's a possibility. Yes, good question, Alex.
and she says she was going to install the backsplash herself.
Wow.
So I know where she can buy some material, and I bet somebody can get her a deal.
I am proud of her. So that's Alex, my daughter, down in St. Pete, Florida. St. Pete Beach.
So those are yours. Here is where I'd like to start, John. Let's say that you've got a client coming in, and it's like Alexandria. She wants to do her backsplash. She's got this home, kind of like my house, that was built in 2005, all warm colors, all out of style. And one of the things that I warn people is about how to start, because once you remove your tile, the preparation is the key. So if you look at the bottom right-hand side, that's pretty much what your wall is going to look like when you remove the old backsplash. It's going to be torn all to pieces. There's going to be holes in it. And what I have to warn you about is don't just try to patch that. Like you see the center picture there is not as bad, but don't just try to tile over it. It's going to look terrible. Take it out, or you look at the picture above it, how they're putting a piece of thin Durock, just cut it all out and start over.
Yeah, it's not a big space. It's not a costly thing. The amount of time you take to try to like patch it, and you might as well just get a new substrate. It's just not thing. What's that bottom left? What's that big hole, man?
Bottom left, the hole there. What they're showing there is they used the wrong adhesive.
Oh,
and I'm not sure. You can see that there was no mortar on the wall, so they probably back mortared the tile and stuck it on there. Used the wrong thing, and now they've gotten schmutz growing underneath it, and that just goes to show you use the right stuff and take the right precautions, and a ceramic installation is going to last forever.
Yeah.
Here's another couple of pictures, and Alexandria, this is what happens. All the left-hand side is the most common failure for backsplashes that I see day in and day out. Is the installer doesn't space the tile off of the countertop correctly, and then they most of the time will fill it with grout.
That is not even filling it, to kind of just forcing
on the
it
surface
on an angle, and that's how long is that going to last?
Yeah, it's the first time your 5-year-old jumps up there to get a box of cereal, it's going to crack.
Right.
But that's the thing, and a lot of people will caulk that, but even though they've caulked it, they've set the tile directly on top of the countertop. That's not correct either. You have to have a space between the countertop and your tile, and then you use the caulk. And the other ones are just, I mean, if you don't know how to take the switch plate off, we need to rethink your home improvement renovation process. I don't think you're qualified.
Yeah.
Or you're
and
insane.
another thing is, if you're a novice,
Yeah.
Don't choose black grout with a white tile, because
yes.
it's going to accentuate any crooked tile.
Yes.
So, like, if you're a novice painter, you're not going to do, I don't know, like an oil-based paint, right?
Exactly.
Like, so this is like, you're going to accentuate. Like, if there was white grout there, you may not notice how bad it is. So that's really, really super bad.
Yeah. The one on the far right top, you can just tell that it's out of level. I mean, they tried to do a herringbone pattern, which
you can't.
I mean,
novice cannot do that.
A novice does not need to be working on that. And then the thing, as you're doing your layout, you need to snap lines level. Now, when you're up there tiling it, you're right here. You can't tell if it's level or not.
Right.
That's why you have to mark lines, step back, because you will see it. Because up close, that probably doesn't look bad, but standing back away from it, it looks terrible.
I would say if that was a do-it-yourselfer and that was their first job, they did a pretty good job, but it's still terrible looking and a waste of time and money. But you just can't do that. If you're going to be doing something as a do-it-yourselfer, you need to pick products where you're not set up to fail. So you need to pick the right size tile. You have to understand the trim and how you're going to do that. And below is the person got frustrated and ripped it off, or
I don't know if they ripped it off or it fell off. I'm not exactly sure, but watching your Pinterest page and the HGTV, and you want to do the newest trend of, I don't know, what's hot right now. Yes, everybody wants that, but you got to work within your capabilities.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another critical thing is layout. And I know you talked a lot about layout with the feature and not doing some other stuff. But here's a couple little tips that maybe you don't think of. The top one with this mosaic, which is a really cool looking mosaic. And I put that up there because that's a pretty easy tile to lay out, because no matter where you go, you're going to have a small cut. And as long as you make good, consistent cuts, that tile, you're not going to see any slivers because
it's irregular to begin with.
It's irregular to begin with.
Right.
The worst thing I've seen is, for instance, you've got the large picture is showing the sink with a bar pass through. I've seen those where, you have a full tile and then a sliver of a cut here. Don't do that.
Yeah.
You need to reorganize the pattern, maybe do a soldier course, which is turning the tile 90 degrees, so that you don't have these small cuts, because these small cuts take away from what's going on. And all of these are relatively good examples of people actually looking at it. I love the use, if you look at the pass through, the use of metal, which we've got a couple of those of metal where it terminates it. And those are questions that don't have hard and fast rules. You just kind of make those decisions. And here's that. What do you like to do, John? So you got your cabinets ending, your countertop sticks past your cabinet a little bit. Do you flush it up with
the number one thing that people mess up, and it drives me crazy. So if you look at the right side, you see like the paint and the non-painted area.
Yep.
And the upper cabinet, it's a bad angle, but you could see that the upper cabinet is a couple inches short of the countertop, or the countertop is sticking beyond the cabinet. Absolutely all the time, the tile needs to be where that paint line is, not a 1/16 of an inch beyond the wood. Like, the paint actually looks like it's a fraction too much. But if you have a bullnose or a metal strip, it should start at that right under that brown wood, right where that paint line is.
And
if you bring it out to the end of the granite, and then you have a little return on top, that is so bad. I want to hit it with a sledgehammer.
What about the people that don't have cabinets returning? I think I have another slide, maybe. Nope. don't have cabinets returning, but they return their tile on a small wall.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
So if you look at the picture that has the skull and crossbones,
Yep.
Tile bar product, it's called Live Free. That's
Yeah.
white Carrera with Nero Marquino, and the eyes and the mouth are mirror. Kind of a badass backsplash for a country kitchen.
I love it. I think it's great.
That's an interesting choice for that kitchen. But nonetheless, if you see, there's a coffee maker there, right on the left.
Yep.
Some people will want to tile that left return wall.
Yep.
That is not a backsplash, folks. Do not.
Like the picture below is done. That's how that's done. They actually turn the corner and bring it out to the front of the countertop. So you say that's a no-no.
That's a no-no. Now, in that picture to the left, it's the most flattering view of that. I don't know how it really is finished, because there's definitely wall above the tile, unless they tiled all the way up to the wall. Like once you return, there's no unawkward way, if that's a word, to stop it. Like, where did they come all the way out to? It looks like they happen to be molding there. So maybe, but then they had to go beyond the granite. That is a mistake. Do not tile the return walls. Those are not backsplashes. Those are walls. And there is a difference. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then, so let's look at the picture with the metal. So that is in the spirit of what I was saying, but
yeah, it looks still, like that. Yeah.
It still needs to come in a little. Like, you see up top, the cabinet has a curve to it. It's probably like some sort of lacquer cabinet, and it has a curve to it. And that middle picture right above the metal strip, that's an awkward intersection there. It should come in to the right. That metal should go to the right, half an inch to the right, and it should be. You see, there's a line. See how the cabinets
I see the line
constructed.
where the face of the cabinet is put onto the
right. So it should be at that line, which is the box of the cabinet, not the covering of the cabinet.
What's your thoughts on starting your pattern? Do you think it depends, or do you like to see like, for instance, this octagon? It's a full and a half. Would you start it there and be damned the inside corner, or would you take a measurement and try to center the wall?
Do you mean top to bottom or left to right?
Left to right.
I mean, that outside edge by that metal strip is very prominent, right?
Yep.
So they decided to do a half a tile there. So I think that makes sense. I like that. And
no matter even if you have a sliver in the corner, in the end corner.
So to answer your question fully, it does depend. So if when you get to the right side, which we don't see, it's going to create a really crappy, like, quarter-inch cut.
You put a plant there.
Yeah, you really you put a plant there, right? Exactly. So,
but no, I if it were me on this one, talking about it vertically, I would have started it at the, I don't know, at that corner. You can't see my spacer, but I would have not started it where they did. I would have shifted it down to where the cut on the bottom was a full cut.
Right. Well, now you're talking top and bottom, because you see the top and bottom heavy and the bottom tile.
I would rather that cut that you see up against the countertop be at the cabinet. Because standing up, you can't, you won't notice that cut. And to me, that's not an attractive cut.
So I agree. So there's two questions: left and right, and top and bottom. Left and right, I think they did fine.
Yep.
Top and bottom, they did not. Because like you said, if you're in your kitchen and you're, 5 foot something tall, and you're standing, you don't see underneath your cabinet where the tile meets the cabinet. You don't see that. And sometimes you don't see that. So why have a nice half a tile there, even more than a half a tile? That should be on the bottom instead of having those little slivers on the bottom. So I agree. I would flip that around 180 degrees.
Yep. All right. Got another question. And this is a little not off topic, but would you recommend peel and stick for beginners? And does the heat near the stove affect the adhesive?
Wow.
Good question. I know a little bit about peel and stick because at Tile Bar, where you can get all of your tile and stone needs, tilebar.com, we do sell some of that. But John, what's your experience?
when I first saw a tile bar have peel and stick, I was like, what?
Yeah, it hurt me a little bit.
That's interesting. It's twofold. First place, the peel and stick that we have, some of it is real marble cut thin,
Right.
with a 3M double stick tape on the back technology, right? And some of it is like a vinyl that looks like Calicut marble, and some of it could be a mixture of things. So
we have a mother of pearl peel and
yes,
stick too, don't we? Yeah.
So, if you're doing a cruise ship, if you're doing a camper, right?
Mhm.
Yes, because you have no weight there. If you're doing your house and your backsplash, it's not incredibly cheap, this peel and stick tile, because
Right.
the ones that we have are kind of the nicest of them. So they're
Mhm.
not $2, they're much more, but you're getting a mosaic look. The trick is this: if you're installing it and you happen to figure out how to do it, it could come out nice, except you can't, there's no adjustment, right? As soon as it touches that wall, you can't adjust it, and there's no grout to hide errors.
Some of them do have grout, but for the most part, I'll say this about the peel and stick, and then I'll tell you another thing. I'm not NYWDG. I have not heard of any failures around stoves. I get a lot of technical questions about peel and stick. Not a lot, not a ton. It's not a big part of our business, but I do get some. I haven't heard of any failures around stoves and the heat. But I do know, just by reading the instructions, direct heat, normally from a heat gun or a hair dryer, is the way to get it off the wall. So those two things being said. But if you want to do a backsplashes are one of the only places I suggest using a mastic. Mastics are great for beginners. There's no mixing involved. They're easy to use. They're creamy. And a mastic with a 1/4 by 1/4 notch trowel and a 3 by 6 subway towel will give you a classic look. And in my opinion, is easier to install than a peel and stick.
Yeah, and it gives you working time, right? You can adjust.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, mastic gives you great working time depending on your So
what do you think the benefits are of the peel and stick? Like, why does it exist?
I think the peeling stick exists. Originally, I think it was really cheap. It was all vinyl. It was all just, you peel it off, you stick it on.
Right. Instead of paint, it's like a step up from paint.
It was like a step up from paint. And then, people started getting, well, crap, people are selling this, or people are buying this. Let's step it up. And now it's to the point where, okay, we've got a mother of pearl 12 by 12 sheet and peel and stick. I would almost rather, mother of pearl, I'd use an 8 by 8 with mastic. And to me, I think that's easier.
Yeah. And your options are so limited too, so I do feel strongly about if you have if you really have a mobile home or something, because you don't have movement, right? And a lot of them don't have grout. And so, or you're in your private jet, you don't want to add weight to it.
Yes. And I think maybe that's where it came from. I know a lot of cruise ships use it. So,
actually, I did speak with someone 2 months ago at a builders event, and the guy is from a company called Westchester Mobile Homes, Modular Homes, and he builds modular homes and ships them all over. And he was interested in that because they want to tile. I mean, some of these modular homes they're not doing all the finished materials at site at the factory. They're doing it at site. But I think by him asking that question, I think they are tiling actually, and their factories, and but still, can you get the style and sophistication you want? Just because the modular home doesn't mean it's low end. It's not.
Right.
It's just,
and you're definitely limited when you do the peel and stick. But there's a market for it, and I think it can be relatively easy to install. It's just not what I've ever done.
Well, we we were talking about the heat right before.
Yeah.
So people ask that question about fireplaces. Oh, can I put this tile on my fireplace? And just because there's a fire, your fireplace gets hot, but the
Yeah.
wall shouldn't be 2,000 degrees, like
That's right.
outside of it.
That's right.
And it's the same thing with your kitchen. You have the most you're going to have is, the hottest scenario you're going to have is a gas stove with the flame pouring up, but that's not enough heat that's going to transfer, 8 inches to your backsplash.
Yeah. I think, the risk of that is pretty low.
I think you're safe.
Yeah. Well, here's John, the next part of what we got to do, we've got 10 minutes, but we can stay on all night. I don't care. I put some backsplashes in here, and this is for everybody watching. There's getting a lot of comments. This is thumbs up, thumbs down, love it or hate it. All right. You ready, John? And I want you to give me why you love it or hate it, and then see if the audience agrees or disagrees with you. Okay. Here we go.
I'm in.
Love it or hate it. Love it or hate it.
I'm sorry, I can't give a quick answer. I love it because it's creative and it's colorful.
Okay. Where is it applicable, you think?
Someone else's house, but somebody that sews a lot of those buttons. What is that?
I think that looks like buttons. They're very colorful buttons. Maybe
I'd rather that than a I think it's funky. I think it's it's cool.
It's cool design. It's maybe appropriate for a kid's kitchen. I don't know.
It's just a fun, beach house or secondary home. But I don't know if I could live with that. Wake up every morning and
I think that would be a little stressful.
Secondary home. So I guess I'll put it in the hate it category.
Love it in the hate it category. I think that's the consensus online is the hate it category. All right, what you got here?
I love that. I think it's cool.
You love
it's kind
that?
of an encaustic look. Kind of cool. Well done.
That that tile is very popular now. It's that you said acoustic. I don't know what that means. That must be a New York word. I think of it as like a cement tile or
and encaustic, ENCAUSTIC. Encaustic is another word for a concrete tile. Now that may not be real concrete tile, maybe a porcelain.
Probably not, but it's got definitely that concrete look. But I love the farm sink.
I love
butcher
that
block countertop. It's a great look. Yeah,
a lot of
I
good
love
stuff
that.
going
I
on
think
there.
everybody, but
you know what, Craig? It's really popular, and you mentioned it before. It's like no cabinets up above. That's like all the rage. But I don't know. I need storage.
I think a dust bowl. I just think, I don't dust enough to make that look good for a long period of time. And I cook greasy foods because I'm in the South, and all of these cups would have a cloud of grease and dust on them. So yes, I need something to cover up my junk.
From the shelf down, I love it.
Correct. But I love it altogether, but it's not functional for me.
Right. Okay.
Not functional for me.
Wood countertop. It looked like a wood countertop.
Yeah, wood countertop. I just did that in our laundry room. I would never do that in a kitchen. I don't think. I think for a laundry room or a mud room or something like that, where you don't have a lot of. I don't trust it. I want to go with a hard surface. I want to go with a quartz or a stone.
Yeah, true. Is that there hooks on the backsplash, or is that under the shelf?
I think there's a bar going across where you hang your thing, which I really love.
That's cool.
Our pot filler's still in, because I don't have one and I want one.
Yeah, pot filler. Look, it's an expense, because first place you're never gonna just like add a pot filler. So when you're building a home, a high end home, when you're building a high end home, you add a pot filler. It's a luxury. There's a downside because it's not that nice looking. I mean, it's not like it adds aesthetic value, but usually they're $1,000 in it, something really nice.
Yeah,
and you pull it out.
I can do it myself. I'm just gonna run a hose.
It's just a bell and whistle thing. If you really are cooking and you don't want to have 12 quarts of water and then have to carry it to you from the sink it is a functional thing if you cook. If you don't cook, it's just a status symbol.
Status symbol. Well, I mean, that's all I got is status symbols. I got nothing else. What similar but different? What do you think?
I love that. I think it's really nice size. That's like a 5-inch tile.
Yeah,
not 6, not 4. And the colors, and I like the patchwork effect to it. And
I like, and this, I like the open shelves, and I would possibly go with that. Because
it's
I could
cabinets and shelves, right?
yeah,
So
I could
that's
put
cool.
some greenery here, and my wife loves plants. We counted them the other day. I think we have 42 plants in our home.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that would look nice. And I'm a big tchotchke fan. If you look behind me, you see all my knick-knackery. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I wonder, I mean, that's a pretty small stove. How well those.
What is that all about? I didn't
this-
notice that. I'm looking at the tile. I don't even think that's 24 inches. Maybe it is.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it's pretty small. I don't know,
makes
but I
no
wonder
sense.
how well that vent works. Those direct
It
vents.
doesn't matter because you can't cook anything on that freaking stove. You gotta.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess then there's no yeah. Good idea.
So the comment is, I love the symmetry. Yeah, this is like picture perfect, left and right, up and down, except for that stove, which is
it's probably AI created. It's not real.
Could this be in Europe? In Europe, they have some pretty lame appliances.
That is true. It could
where are
be
the outlets. Let me ask you a question.
Well, I think there's an outlet right there to the left of
That's
the daisies.
a European outlet,
and that doesn't look. Yeah, so European. Gosh, can't believe I did that. What about this?
No.
Yeah, this is my least favorite. No, it's my most hated tile stone product. I hate River Rock. I hate the River Rock mosaics. I don't like anything about them. River Rocks deserve to be in rivers, not in your shower, and not definitely on your backsplash.
If you had to choose between your shower or your backsplash, where would you put it?
Do what?
If you had a choice, you had to use it somewhere.
If I had to use it somewhere, in the outdoor shower at my beach place. That's the only place.
That is horrid. First place, it's very heavy looking. It's very busy looking. It's not sophisticated. It feels like it should be on a floor, not a wall. Yeah. And it circus people. That's a great comment.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was circus people.
Yeah, I think that's when he posted it, but
okay.
But you better make sure you have a lot of money invested in sealers, because that'll soak up a sealer, and if you don't keep it up.
Right. Let's say for a moment,
I agree. Outdoor bathroom. Yeah.
Outdoors, because it feels like outdoors, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's River Rock. It's where it came from, the outdoors. Put it back.
Yeah. Let's say that was your style, Craig. There is another problem with that backsplash. Let's say you love that tile.
Okay.
What else jumps out at you there?
Well, the outlets look terrible.
That is. If that's your style.
Okay.
So the outlets just killed it.
If crap installation are my style. What?
No, that's it. That's it. That's the outlet. So if you're committing to do that, then you need to put an under cabinet outlets. You can't have outlets in the back.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That is so bad. You walk in and you see that is just
I mean, it's staring at you.
Can't do that.
And I would even, and I'm giving it more credit than it's due, if they used it in a picture frame or something as an accent, right, and then had something
that's bad.
That would be better, but it's still bad. Next.
That was bad. Well, the one thing about that kitchen, that was a killer stove. That was
not as good as this one. I like this stove better.
Wow.
Even though this is not a great picture.
1, 2, 3. There's a lot of freaking burners on that.
Yeah, I think that's a Viking.
It's a wolf with the red.
It's a wolf has red. Okay.
Yeah,
I see.
I mean, it falls in similar to the others. I don't like how that tile, that pattern has a very distinct circular floral pattern. So that's my least favorite out of the few like busier patterns. It's not bad.
What do you think about the all white cabinets? Should they split up and this is going into design more than anything, but
there was a study just recently that they said that kitchens with white houses with white kitchens get less money now, but that wasn't the case. Yeah. So kitchens were never white, and then all of a sudden everybody went white, and now they're getting warm. Or they're getting or grays or warm grays, and even woods are coming back.
So you're telling me my 2005 cherry cabinets are going to be back in style soon?
Yes, just wait another 11 years and you'll be right on spot on there.
Good. So no renovation, honey. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
She's not listening
Get a
anymore.
paintbrush.
All right.
No,
What about this? The going to the black and white. Love it or hate it.
there's a lot going on. That floor
This
is so
is so
freaking
much.
busy, and that backsplash is so freaking busy. Yeah, and let's just critique the kitchen itself. I mean, there's no storage. You got that.
There's
huge,
zero. This has got to be European also, don't you think?
Yeah. What kind of websites are you like surfing on here?
Yeah. You know, I have access to the world wide web.
That looks like straight out of IKEA. That black bar with the buckets.
Yeah, yeah. And I kind of like that. I like the black bars, but I don't like it in this the way it's
What's
used.
up with that pattern? It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. It's like
is it a pattern or is it not a pattern? It's like
a psychedelic album cover from the 70s. So
like
I hate it too. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
I mean, it's very rustic. They did a good job on building that niche. I think it's proportioned properly. I think it's a good use of the space. The diagonal herringbone, I like that, like 3x12 kind of. It's the right proportion for a diagonal. Nice, pretty much brickwork. There's a lot of it.
That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah,
it seems like it's almost too much.
Well, in Europe and some other places, they do put tile like on kitchen walls, which is very functional.
Yeah.
But this may not be the tile to use for your whole, like, look at that left wall. It looks like you're at an office building. So yeah, I think the tile, if it was limited to just, the backsplash part and not the walls, I think it would be more palatable.
Maybe stop it at the outdoor cabinet before you get to that plant.
And that, I mean, I like the fact that they use, it looks like a fireplace. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if that had been a pizza oven right under the vent, how awesome would that be though? Like the niche, instead of it being a niche, it was a pizza oven.
Oh, you can like stick the pizza straight in out to the outside of your house. Your neighbors would be like, "What the heck?"
I think that's
a great idea.
It needs a pot filler. You're right. You're right, Tom.
You know what? A lot of times when you do have like a built-in, like a 3-dimensional niche, that is when they put pot fillers. For some reason, that's the thing they do. So I'll give it a A+ for execution. But I want to execute it.
Yeah. How about this? Now this is a bathroom backsplash. I don't think we've even done that yet, but
all right. Well, you're stretching the limits of the topic of the day. I'm not convinced that's called a backsplash. It's a wall.
Yeah. Well, I threw it in here. Just picture those mirrors as cabinets.
Yeah. It's a nice tile. Look, I guess if you don't tile your entire bathroom and you just put tile behind your sink, then you can call it a backsplash. But
that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll give you a pass on that.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Thanks.
Ooh. No.
Here you go. This one's yours.
No, I'm out. For that reason, I'm out.
Yeah, this is definitely.
This is your kitchen, right?
How did you know? No, I that is definitely I will say the execution's not bad. I mean, they got a nice cut. We got I think this is Tom's bathroom.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, too much. I don't know who would do this. I don't even know that this was ever in style.
So if somebody out there likes that tile, don't call me because I don't have that.
That's right. Yeah. How about I think this is our last one. Love it or hate it.
Yeah, no good. It's a lot of things wrong with that. First, I mean, it's too busy. It's too busy no matter what. It looks like your grandma's blanket. She made it for you.
Yeah, it looks like a quilt. And now, okay, let's imagine for a second. Take out the far wall and change the countertop to a white countertop.
Yeah. Yeah. If that return wall. So that was my example before. So they did the right thing. If you want to tile that side wall, then you have to commit to tile all the way up.
Yeah,
so
commit to the whole wall. Yeah.
So that's the right decision. If they would have just done 18 inches on that left wall, that would have been bad. So they did the right thing by continuing. I don't think that's the tile to do it with. So if that left wall was painted white, the countertops were solid quartz white.
Yeah. Look at that edge of that countertop. That looks like a.
It looks like a laminate,
like a live edge, something. It's strange. It looks like terrazzo, which I don't think it would be, but I don't know.
Why is that?
It's got a lot going on.
The only thing that could be is like a really bad laminate job with a miter.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Or a thin gauge porcelain with a metal strip and return.
Yeah.
Tan Mahal. I don't know.
Mahal, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of busy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you would call that a fail or not, but it's not.
I would say it's probably not an install fail. It looks like it was a quality install, but the design.
Notice the 2-inch backsplash. Don't like it.
Oh wow! Look at that, Eagle Eye John.
Yeah. It's so busy looking. Like, I mean, it's so minimal. It just,
too much going on.
If you gave me that tile and I had to use it, no backsplash, white countertop, no left wall, and it would be livable.
Yeah. as it currently is, it's not livable, and it's set up for not condemnation. That's the wrong word. What is that? Where you tear it down? I don't know. It's getting late.
Condemned.
Yes, it's been condemned. Condemnation. I don't know what that means. But yeah, that's our kind of our tour of backsplashes. What to do, what not to do. John feels very strongly about it, and I hope you enjoyed the journey with us.
I like critiquing rooms. I mean, everyone likes to critique stuff, right? We should do that.
That's true.
As a regular session. Love it or hate it.
I like that. That's a good idea. If you like the love it or hate it section, maybe we shorten it down to 5 love it or hate it. Let us know if we get big comments. We'll maybe make that a segment, because we skipped all of our other segments. We skipped our tile fails. We skipped our product highlights. We skipped the Q&A because John was so passionate about backsplashes. We wanted to make sure we got it in, and we still went over on time.
Tile the world but I want to save people from messing up their backsplashes. So if you have a question, let me know. Hey, this has been a lot of fun, Craig. I'm glad we had people chiming in, and I really feel that it's good to communicate. It's good to share information, good to hear back and forth. And we love what we do, and we want to be a resource to you. If you have any questions regarding design or type of products, for sure reach out to any of us, but I probably would definitely love to help you. If you have technical questions on what to use, what not to use, how to use it, where to use it, and Craig would be the point person there. So just send us a message, shoot us a private message, put a comment rather on the whatever social media platform you're watching this on. If you're watching it live, or if you're watching it in a rerun, definitely leave it. We do monitor that. And hey, do we have our hashtags and all that stuff anywhere we could show people?
Hashtags. Let's see. Yeah, we do.
So
I didn't use that
on YouTube. So what people can do is go to YouTube and find our pages. Mine is the Tile channel. Craig is Tile the World. And there's 2 things you should do if you're interested in tile. If you're not, then you're probably not listening right now.
But right. If you're still here, you're not interested in tile.
If you're still here, you're so drunk you don't realize where you're at.
You said you heard happy hour, and you're like, I'm gonna see what's going on here.
We're gonna get a bad Yelp review for this bad happy hour. Especially Craig, you lost your drink.
I don't even know where my drink is.
I don't know what happened. So I don't know what the word is, like or follow our YouTube page. But then there's a little bell which you could subscribe, which all that means is there's no fee, there's no commitment, but apparently you'll get a little alert when we do go live.
Notice.
Yeah, so we'd love for you guys to join. Check out our social media, and we got to check out Threads to see if we're gonna broadcast on that. Next.
I have to make another overlay to add our Threads
platforms.
Thread in.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, it's Tuesday, July 18th. It's another happy hour coming to an end, but it still continues. We will be on next week. Actually, I will not be on next week. Craig will be on next week. Is that correct?
So if we got anybody that wants to co-host with me next week, please reach out and I don't know. We'll see. We'll make it happen. We're going to get together regardless. And if nothing else, I'll just spend an hour talking about John.
Yeah, exactly. We have a party, an industry party in New York City. It's called it's a New York City Design Coalition, which is made up of Interior Design Society, which I happen to be the president of the Manhattan chapter, but also IFDA, NKBA, ASID, and DLFNY. All 5 of us have a summer social. So we have around 400 people going to, it's a members only event in New York City. It's at the Samsung 837 building, which is a 3-story building where inside there's this pretty much like a 3-story screen inside. And the theme of it is the greatest social on earth. It's kind of circus theme. And we're going to have food and circus type of food and entertainment around that theme. And it's going to be a great event. So that happens to be Tuesday the 25th. So I will be there, not here, but I'll be with you in spirit.
That's well, good. I am not a member of any 3-letter organization, so I'm not a part of the Illuminati like John is.
Yeah, you're only up to AA. You didn't get beyond that.
That's right. That's right. I'm still working on some different ones.
You graduate. Well,
that's right.
It's been great, Craig. It's been great chatting with you. Glad to talk to everyone else here on the channel. This is John Tedisco. I'd like to wish you a happy hour.
Yep. And once again, we'll close out today with thanks for tuning in. Look forward to it. If you have, I reiterate what John said. If you have any questions, comments, just drop them down below. We love to read them. Like, subscribe, all that good social media stuff. Don't forget, keep learning. Let's keep growing together. Treat each other kindly and tile the world.